Okay, so I would like to give a brief about the first 2 days to the new joiners. Okay. Okay. So we got familiar with the terms like prospect, candidate, employee, agency, and requisitions. So what are all these? I will let you know. So a prospect is a person who has not yet applied to a job requisition or a job application, okay, but he is considered suitable. For example, if you create a profile on naukri.com but you haven't applied to any job opening, you will be considered a prospect. A candidate is a person who has applied to the job by going on the external site or any external site of the company or any external portal or internal portal. He has given basic details and applied for the job. So he is under the job application process. Employee is a person who is considered ready for hire and who is part of the organization now. He is onboarded. Okay. Agency is a third party system which makes a bridge between the prospects and the recruiters who are looking out for the suitable candidates. Okay, so agencies are third party vendors. Then what is a job requisition? A job requisition is a request to search for and hire a resource. So you must have seen on LinkedIn or any external job portal job openings. So it includes the description and various details regarding the job. Okay, so this is the job title, and about the job we have certain details. Then work location, education. It defines the various feature of this jobs. Okay, so this is a job requisition, which we will see in the upcoming session how to create. Okay, so this particular job requisition is posted on an external site. So over here, the external site is LinkedIn. Then this is the basic overflow of the Workday recruiting. So the first step, the first phase of Workday recruiting is of demand creation, where we create the job requisitions and post them to the external or internal site. Okay, then the candidate sees those openings and applies for them accordingly as per his eligibility. Once he applies, he enters the job application process. So in job application process, there are various stages through which a candidate has to go through. He has to perform good in all the stages and need to get the approval by each stage's security groups. By security groups, I mean either the recruiter or screening recruiter, primary recruiter, such kind of security groups. So the first and mandatory step is of review. Okay, it is done by the recruiter and it is mandatory. No one can skip, no candidate can get skipped from this step. The other ones are not mandatory, but they are generally considered in the job application process for every organization. So the next one are screening, interview, and assessment. And they are self-explanatory by the name. So once they go through these three stages, they enter the pre-hire stage. Okay, now the candidate will be considered as a pre-hire, means he will be most probably considered for this job. And in this particular stage of job application, there are two segments, offer and employment agreement. In offer, compensation related negotiation takes place. In employment agreement, the candidate or the pre-hire has to go through various documents related to the terms and agreement of the organization. Then comes the reference check and background check. This is also done by selected security groups. After completion of all these steps, and if he is considered suitable, he or she is considered suitable, he will be given the status of ready for hire. And once he is considered ready for hire, the hiring business process will start. Okay, so the hiring is done by the HCM team, Human Capital Management. So our recruitment module is just still ready for hire, but sometimes we have to perform the activities of HCM or we are interlinked with the HCM team as well. So we should know a little bit about the hiring business process as well. So this was a basic overview of Workday recruiting. So what we did, we performed some configuration actions on two tasks. So you both have the access of the tenant now?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you have any background of Workday? Any work experience in that?
Not exactly experience, but we completed Workday HCM course.
Okay, so you have completed that. So you are aware about task and basic functionality. Okay, so we edited two tasks, edit setup recruiting and edit setup tenant HCM. Okay, so we did some configuration over there.
Okay, so Shilpa, did you show that in the previous videos? The
Yeah, I
previous.
have shown. Yeah, you
Oh,
will be getting the recordings, I think, right?
okay, yeah. So we
Okay,
can
so
see
from
that
yeah,
definitely.
yeah, that's perfect. So from prospect to hire, we just discussed, and there were some prefixes for recruiting like uh, candidate colon, pool colon, prospect colon, employee colon, through which we can search for the appropriate person. And there are for job requisition, we have the prefix JR colon. Okay, we'll look into it more. Okay, so yesterday we discussed about the recruiting security. So you must be aware about the domain policy, business process, business policies, and functional area, right? In the HCM certification, you must have gone through them.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have security groups also as well. So what we did set up candidate security. So all the tasks, all the reports, all the action items related to candidate security will be under these domains. There are some additional domains as well for the candidate, but these are the major domains for the recruiting part. Okay, so what we did, we went through each and every domain and have seen what were the domain description, what was this domain all about, and how we have added our security groups in the domain policies for them. Okay, so you can make a note of all these. Then for staffing functional area. So the previous one was the recruiting functional area, and this is the staffing functional area. So what happens if a candidate, so these domains are related to a candidate, and if candidate has a worker record, maybe he is internally applying to some other profile, or he has been part of the organization earlier and he is coming back to that organization. Then for those candidates, we have these domains. Then what we did, we started with a basic activity or basic functionality of segmented security. Okay, so over here we created a segment-based security group. What happens in a segment-based security group? It includes members of other security groups and grant access only to selected components of a secured item. For example, let's suppose we want managers to only see the job application of external candidates, okay, and not the job application of employees or contingent worker. So what we did, we created one segment-based security group in which we gave the access of manager to the segment candidate job application. Okay, let me show you. I'll show you in the tenant how we did that. And the third one, we set up the candidate pool security, who will have the access of creating, accessing, viewing, or modifying the candidate pool. So for that, these are the required domains.
And Shilpa, one more thing, if we have any doubts, can we discuss at the end of the session or can we ask you while you are teaching that part? Just to
You
make
can
it clear,
ask,
there
you
won't be.
can ask me in between also. I don't want to go further if you have any doubts. You
Oh,
can
okay,
ask me
thank
in
you
between.
so much. So I have a doubt there when you were explaining the slide, there is a sentence if a candidate has a worker record. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
getting it. Means what does the sentence actually mean? Means
Okay,
if
it
that
means
candidate has worked in that organization and he has a employee record in that organization, is that what it
yeah.
means?
Yeah, exactly. He has a pre-hire record in the Workday database. So what happens when you apply for a particular job? let's suppose I was part of an organization ABC. I went to some other organization XYZ and I am applying again to the ABC company. Then my worker data, my basic pre-hire data or worker data will still be there in the workday system for that company. So in
Oh,
such case, or
oh,
if I'm applying internally, let's suppose from testing background, I want to go into HR. So I'm applying internally. So I'm behaving like a candidate for the HR department and I'm also a worker in the organization. I have worker history as well.
I got
Okay.
it. Thank you. Thank you.
So what we did yesterday, we created one segment-based security group in which we included the manager to have the access of job application for external candidate. Okay, so this is called the segment. Okay, so some segments are defined by workday, so this is one of them, and some we can create on our own. So this segment security group we are going to add as a normal security group in our job application BPs. I'll show you at the end of the class where we are supposed to add this segment-based security. And these security groups can include both role-based security group and user-based security groups. Okay, but what is the logic behind the security group is it is restricting the access of a particular functionality. Okay, we can have multiple security groups over here, HR, manager, recruiter. Okay, we can include them and we can give them the access of various segments. And these segments have very limited, you can say, access. So it will become more clear as we move forward. So today we are going to uh, do the segmented security for recruiting questionnaires. So you are aware about questionnaires, right?
Yes.
Questionnaires. So generally, these questionnaires are asked in every stage of the job application. Okay. Okay. So segmented security for recruiting questionnaires. So what it does, it control access to questionnaires responses in each stage of the job application BP. Okay. So what it does, it gives the segmented or controlled access to the questionnaires to view them and also to see the responses of those questionnaires. Not, let's suppose, if we want a particular security group to only see the questionnaires at review stage. So for that case, we have to create a segmented security and we'll see how we can do it. Okay. Then questionnaire security segments restrict access to one or more questionnaire. We will see this, the explanation for this when we configure it. Then as you can see, these are the various segments defined by Workday for each of the stage of the job application. Okay, so what happens while creating a questionnaire, there is a field which asks in which business process you want to include this, which business process step you want to include this. So we over there tell, let's suppose we are creating this questionnaire for assessment stage. Okay, so automatically that questionnaire will go into this particular segment. Let's go into the tenant and see it. So the task to create the segment is create questionnaire security segment. Create. Okay, so let's suppose. So as you can see, when we are creating a segment, it asks for the questionnaires. So what a segment for questionnaire does, it collects one or more questionnaires into one segment. Okay, so let's suppose I don't have any questionnaire and I want to create one.
This is like a grouping, right? If I'm getting it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes, a grouping of questionnaires. So allowed on business process. This is the field. So over here we can see we offer, right? We can see review, and similarly all other business processes. So once this is created, it will automatically be assigned to the segments which I have shown you in the slide, which are workday defined. Okay, so this same questionnaire will go to the offer stage also, and it will also go to the review candidate segment of the workday as well. So we will see in one of the activity how we can do it. So for creating questionnaire security segment, it asks for grouping of questionnaires. Okay. So you understood, right? What is this?
Shilpa, can you explain the usage of this? I'm getting what you are explaining, but I'm not knowing the usage of this thing. Why is this?
Okay, just a second. I'll let you know. I just want to show you first where we'll see the workday defined. See over here, candidate data offer questionnaire. So it will include all the questionnaires which are present in the system and who are for the offer stage. Okay, so similarly, we can see all other workday defined segments, and we can create our own also, which include our customized questionnaires. So let's go back and see where is its usage. Okay, so the two domains which will be included for the questionnaire section is candidate data, questionnaire total score. So what it will give access to, if you'll open this in your tenant, you'll see it will give access to see the total score of the questionnaires. Okay. And for this particular domain, it will give us the access to view the questionnaires. Just a second. Now we have an activity. We have four criteria, and these are the common asks from the clients. Like in my project, I have worked on such similar requirements. So what the client might ask that only recruiters have access to all questionnaires and review stage. Okay, so how we can implement that? Can anyone tell?
It's
Okay, I'll
just
show
as
you.
what you explained, right? In the business process, I think we will select review.
Okay, no. So they don't want to give recruiters the access to see all the questionnaires present in the system. They want only the review stage questionnaires to be visible to recruiter. So what we'll do, we'll create a segmented security group in which we'll include recruiters as a security group, and the segment will be the workday defined. Okay, let me show you.
It will be the review stage, right?
Yeah, it will be in review stage.
Yeah.
So Shilpa, recruiter. So this security group can include both user-based and role-based. And over here, we'll select review. C. Candidate data review questionnaire. So all the questionnaires present in the system which will be used for the reviewing process of job application, recruiter will have access to it. Okay. And we can add this segment-based security group in the job application section, job application business process, security groups access. I'll show you that how we can do it. Let us first complete all these activities to understand. Then the second one is managers have access to all the questionnaires in interview and offer stage. Okay, let me click on OK for this. Then let me create one more security group for managers. So how it is created? You just have to select the segment-based security type. So over here, the demand was all the managers. So security group will be manager. And it will have access to what questionnaires which are involved in interview.
Interview.
So we'll search for interview. So this is the segment which includes all the questionnaire. And in the review, right? We asked review questionnaires. Okay. Sorry, interview and offer stage. Sorry. We click on OK. Done. Then the other one is only HR partners will have access to criminal convictions questionnaire in background check stage. So over here, we are not supposed to give the whole access of background check questionnaires, right? We only have to give the criminal convictions questionnaire access, right? So how we can do it? Any idea? I'm going to the system.
Background verification stage. Maybe you can just.
Okay, so actually in that, all the questionnaires access will be given, right, to the HR partner,
Yeah.
Okay, then we have to create a segment, correct?
correct?
Yeah.
So we'll give criminal conviction, the name of the segment, and I think that question is not there in the system. Let me check if it's there. Sorry, it's not there. We have to create a questionnaire, a simple questionnaire for criminal. It will be allowed in background. Okay, and we can ask our own We can create our own question.
So, Shilpa, I'm not able to relate when we are creating the questionnaire. Why
Hmm?
we're creating the business process? Maybe I have missed that part in the earlier sessions, right? So, I'm not too
Yeah.
sure.
Means we are creating a new questionnaire and we have to mention in which stage we are going to use this questionnaire. So we have selected the background check as it is mentioned in the activity point.
Right.
So that's why we have selected background check.
No, no, no. So my question was, why did we select to be used in the business process? I'm not able to relate the term business process and creating
Okay,
some. Yeah.
okay. What happens?
Yeah.
There are different business processes configured for each and every job application stage, right? Let's suppose if a person is in review stage, okay, and once he's selected and the recruiter clicks on submit for the uh, final feedback or whatever the response, then the next stage business process will be triggered. So these are the stages as well as the individual business process.
Okay. Just how like we used to do for hiring candidates or something, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
Got it. Got it.
exactly.
Thank
Just a second. So you can search in the system, in your system, the default definitions for each and every stages business process. So I'll just type question type. Now we can define what will be the response type. So I just want it to be text based. Okay. No other fields are required. And we have a separate topic of creating questionnaire and setting it up. So that's why I'm creating a simple questionnaire. Okay. So this is the question. It is allowed on this business process. So we can also see here. It is in the reference check, background check, reference check. No, we should select recruiting only. Forget it. So we have created one security segment in which we included the questionnaire of criminal conviction. Now what we need to do, we need to create security group, segmented security group. Okay, so over here, HR partner will come. We will check if it is workday defined and we'll keep that one.
I think it's above only. Yeah, it's
Okay, the first one.
no, 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 no. You should go a little down. Down, even more.
Okay. This one.
Even more down, I
So
think the
that's
down.
after this, the next one after this.
Yeah, the next one
Yeah,
actually.
next
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
Maybe.
exactly.
No,
Okay.
not.
Not work delivered. Okay.
It's not code defined. Actually, this tenant has very different access. The tenant which we used to get during the certification.
Okay.
And in recruiting part, most probably we don't have to worry about this creation of security groups like these security groups. Segment based, yes, we will be creating. So about this, we just have to ask from the security team to provide us with. But we should know, yes, what is the functionality of the security group which we are asking for. So over here,
You mentioned something like conviction or something.
okay.
Conviction or criminal something. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So it's reflecting over here. So what this particular group will have, it will define that HR partner will have access to only this particular questionnaire set.
And
It's gonna,
Shilpa, how can did you explain about the segments in the previous lecture?
mm, uh, what I'm doing right now is the maximum what we discussed yesterday.
Oh, this is all yesterday's thing. You're just recap doing a recap for us. Is that
No, no, this is today's thing. Yesterday we did created segment-based security group for job application segments.
okay?
Today we are doing for questionnaires and we'll also discuss about segment-based security for assessment response access.
Okay, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we are able to create this, we are able to see particular task of creating segment-based security group because we implementers are part of the security group for segmented setup domain. Okay, see over here implementers are there. That's why we are able to see it. So this is the domain for making any changes for creation of security group for segment. Now, what was the next scenario? Managers to see total scores for all screening questionnaire. Okay, so whatever three kind of segmented security groups we have created to view the questionnaires. Okay, that should be added in some domain, right? So what was that domain? It was candidate data questionnaire. This was the domain. So we should first go over there and add it. We did. So this is the domain. So this domain provides access to questionnaires that were either submitted by a candidate or an internal workday user. Okay. So we will be able to see the responses on the questionnaires which were either submitted by the candidate externally or internally.
Shilpa, can you do something to increase the font size or something like that?
Okay, sure, sure.
Thank you.
So sorry if it was not visible.
Yeah,
So by adding these security groups, segmented security group, the required role will get access to the uh, questionnaires defined for each stage. So we will give the access of view. And click on done. And then there was one more task. After that, we'll do the activate pending security.
Why not modify, Shilpa? I did not get that.
Okay, because this domain gives the questionnaire access response of the candidate.
Okay, we don't need to, there's no
Yeah,
action we upon us,
yeah,
right? That's why.
yeah.
Okay.
No need to do any such kind of thing. Just a second. Okay, so our next activity is managers to see total scores for all screening questions. By screening question, they mean all job application stages. Uh, okay, not only the screen, particular screen segment, all the segments questions. So how we can do that? We will just go and update manager security group in this particular domain. So this domain gives us to view, gives us the access to view the total score of the questionnaires. So manager is already part of this particular domain. So we don't need to make any changes. Now we'll do activate pending security. So you must be knowing why we are doing this. We means execute this task whenever we make changes in the policy. It could be of either domain or business. Okay, let's go back. Means activity. So what we did, we created a new security group to give recruiters access to all question and review stage. We create a new security group to give manager access to all questionnaire and interview, and for HR partner to give the access of criminal conviction questionnaire. So we first created this questionnaire, criminal conviction questionnaire. Then we created one segment, and that segment was added to HR partner in the new security creation. Then we can also segment the security for recruiting assessment. So you are aware assessment is like a test which must be cleared. So for questionnaires also we get the response or scores, and for assessment definitely we have the scores. So what we can do in recruiting, we were creating segments where we were grouping the questionnaires. But over here, we will create segments based on recruiting categories, that is assessment test categories. So the various kind of categories are whether the test is behavior or is it aptitude, is it quantitative, like that. These are the categories. Okay, so the first task is to create a segment is of create recruiting assessment category security segment. So currently in this tenant, this task is not present because the required domain is not present in the functional area. That's why we cannot see it in this, in this tenant. And I have the access to see in my client's tenant, but I won't be able to share over here as it's confidential. So the process is same. It's just that we have to create segments based on assessment test categories. Okay, and then we'll create a security group that grants specific security group access to specific security segments. And we will update the security policy for candidate data assessment results domain. So let us check assessment results. Oh, sorry. This domain provides access to candidates' assessment results. Like in questionnaire, the domain was candidate data questionnaire. Over here, it is assessment results. So who all will be able to see the result based on the category? Okay, so the task to maintain the category is okay. So over here in this tenant, it is not configured. We can give behavioral aptitude, then quantitative, okay. So any ID we want to give, we can give it. It's mandatory. Any description for this category we can give. Whether we want to make it inactive, we can do that. So these category names will define the segments. Okay, and those segments will be given the access to a particular security group. We can also,
Shilpa, what did you say? Did not get that. The segments, you said something.
okay. So for segmenting security of assessment results, we will create segments based on assessment categories. So we have just seen
Okay.
what kind of categories are there. So each test will be connected to a particular category. So if we want all the assessments with the category aptitude, those should be available, those should be accessible to a particular security group. Then we will attach that particular segment to the security group. I hope I'm clear.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's clear. Thank you.
Sure. So you can see over here, these are the three types of test names present in the system. We can add our own as well. Then it asks for the assessment category. So where we can mention the category. We
Okay.
have to
Yeah,
mention.
behavioral, right?
Sorry?
Did we create that category behavioral just before?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
It is showing over here. So typing and skill assessment is also there. We have not yet created category for those, but we can. So I want to say that every test is attached to a category. So this category defines the segments for assessment segmenting. Integration system, it's like a third party vendor who will be conducting the assessment test for our particular organization. And then any vendor comment in use or inactive, we can define over here. So we don't have the access to that creation of segment for assessment. That's why we are not able to see, but the procedure is similar to that of questionnaires. Now, let me. So here's one activity. As a recruiting administrator, you want to configure security. So only recruiting administrators can view the results from a work opportunity tax credit assessment. So can anyone explain me how we can do it? Since we cannot do it in the tenant right now, what all steps we will be taking?
And maybe we'll have to create a segment first.
I
Yes.
I thought we oh okay. I thought we should create the assessment first.
Yeah, we have to create assessment as well.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
maybe
then,
because it is like something which might not be there, right? Standard is not there, so we'll have to create.
yeah, correct. So we will create a test name.
So
Okay.
Shilpa, what is a segment here? I'm not at all getting the concept of segment and I don't know. What is
Okay.
segment here? Is it recruiting administrators?
No, no. Recruiting administrator is the security group.
Group, right? Yeah. Okay. So,
Yeah. And the test name is work opportunity tax credit.
okay.
Okay. So we should give the access of this particular test only and only to recruiting administrators. So how we can do it? I just want you to think for some time and let me know.
So in the
Okay. So
segment where there is access to segments, there is one section, right, in the edit segment security group. There is
yes.
one field called access to the segments, right?
Yeah.
So, do we need to create a segment called WOTC, means this assessment? Is it?
Yeah.
I think I
Yes.
got. I don't know.
Yes. So uh, almost you are there. So what happens? In order to create a segmented security, we have to give a segment. And segments are created on the basis of test categories. So first we have to define a test category, and what it would be WOTC eligibility. We can give this name, okay?
Okay, I got. Okay, okay.
So first we'll create the category, then we'll create this particular test assessment,
Just
and
okay.
after that, what we
We,
can do?
we will attach the segment, means we will attach the category to this test.
Yes, yes, we will attach. So automatically, if we are including that category, okay, that particular category in our segment-based security group, this test will come by default, right? Because we have attached this test to that particular category, WOTC eligibility. Am I clear or is it confusing? I think it's confusing, right?
Not get the last thing, that's all. I'm fine with the rest of thing. I just did not get the last sentence what you told.
Okay. So what happens if you want to create a segment-based security group? We need segments for those, and segments always include categories, right? So we want to include this particular test available to recruiting administrator. So we cannot create a segment based on a test name. We first have to define a test category. So what we did, we first created test category named WOTC eligibility, let's say. Then we created a test name, and in the test, while preparing test assessment, there is one option of attaching category, right? So we will attach our category WOTC eligibility. Our test is prepared, right? So what will happen when we'll create security based group, segment based security group? In the segment, we will just give the category name, that is WOTC eligibility, and it will by default include this particular test, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So like that we will do. So over here it's not mentioned whether we have to create category or not, but we have to always in order to create segment basic segments.
So category and segment, they both are different, you're saying. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. We create segments based on categories. Like in questionnaires case, we were creating segments by grouping questionnaires, right? On the basis of questionnaires, we were creating segments. But over here in assessment case, we group the categories in order to create a segment. And each category
Again,
is
consists of
connected.
our assessments.
Sorry?
So are you saying a category is a collection of assessments or tests, and again a segment is a collection of categories?
Yes,
Oh,
exactly.
okay,
Okay,
I
you
got.
made it simpler. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, and one more thing, Shilpa, then when we are editing or creating a segment-based security group, there we
Hmm.
have a field called, as I said before, access to segments, right? So in that field, can we give either a category or a segment? Is that fine?
Uh, Let me just go to the screen. What you're saying, which task? While creating a segment
Yeah, segment-based security group.
for
Or ed
assessment.
yeah. I
Okay, just a second. The issue is we cannot see the segment creation for assessment, so it's not getting clear for you. It's just same as creating segments for questionnaires. It's just that. Okay. My name is.
I'm sorry, Shilpa, maybe I'm troubling you.
No. You should always ask. It's always better to get everything clear. So where were you saying?
So
Which
here
field?
under access rights, we have a field, right? Access to segments.
Yeah.
So now my doubt is here, can we give a category or we should give a segment or we can give any of those?
No, we will always give segment over here, and
So
that segment.
we cannot access categories here, right? Definitely we should create a segment for the category and then only we can access it here.
Yeah, so see, these kind of segment types we can create. So we have just seen for questionnaire how we can create, but for assessment there is no type present in this tenant. That's why we are not able to create it.
Okay, I got it. I got you now exactly. So my another doubt has also got cleared. So we can create segments normally in this tenant.
Yeah, we can create. We just create right for questionnaires.
Yeah. But since maybe I did not see it from the starting, maybe I'm little confused and I have few doubts related to that. And
Oh,
so, Shilpa, did you cover this topic of segments before, or will we see that in the future, or just while going through the classes we'll get to know about it?
uh, this is the last day for security, recruiting security. So what happens in projects, we generally have the client's requirement for the security setup. So how we can do it? We can do by these particular tasks which I have mentioned today and yesterday. So it will help you to configure your requirements in your projects or wherever you will be working in recruitment module. So it's not interlinked to any future activities, but we should know about these tasks and functionality.
Okay.
Okay. On the first day, let me show you. Like we did some configuration on this. So these configuration are definitely linked to our future activities. Okay. You
Okay.
can see those, the explanation for each and every one in the future, in the recording, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Okay, so how we can add segmented security groups. It's very simple and it's similar to the normal security groups. Let us see job application BP already present in the system. So over here, right? Let's suppose in assessment stage, we have security groups over here. So we can simply add our own created segment security group. See over here, we have the option of creating. So let us see if we are able to get our no match. We did activate pending security, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not an assessment. Let me check in entire. Okay, I'll check on this and we'll let you know tomorrow then, as we have to wind up for today. But this is how we add a segment-based security group. Maybe there's some issue in the domain setting up. So I'll let you know how it will come here. But it will come normally like for all security groups. Okay. So any other doubt we have from today's class?
We will go through the videos from the last two sessions, and then along with today's session, we'll just try to conclude if there is any doubt, and we'll let
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
exactly. Maybe since we just listened after the two sessions, we are a bit not exactly confused, but we need to follow up everything, right? It will be clear enough for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. It won't be that much tough for you as you are HCM certified. You will be able to easily grasp. Just see the videos. And
Okay,
this
sure.
was
Yeah.
all about
Clearly.
the. Okay. Yeah. Hope to see you
So,
soon tomorrow.
Shilpa,
So with these three
yeah,
videos, did you complete the security part of the recruitment course?
Yeah, I've completed.
Okay, okay.
and
Yeah.
Shilpa, I also wanted to know if there will be any task or any small assignments or projects related to the training.
Okay. As of now, there are no assessment, but whatever I'm configuring, whatever
Hmm.
task, everything I'm doing in the class, you definitely have to go through that in the tenant.
Sure, sure.
Okay, because we have lots and lots of topics in the upcoming session, so you should be able to grasp easily, and that
Oh,
would be possible only when you go through a tenant and revise whatever topics we have done.
okay.
Okay.
And
Sure.
we will to cover this in how much time?
Around 25 hours is the requirement, right? Yeah. So
Right.
there are in total 19 topics,
Okay,
and in those 19 topics, there are some other subtopics as well. So that has to be completed in 25 sessions, 25 or 25 hours.
sure.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you, Shilpa. Have a good day. Bye bye.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.